Alrighty, everybody. Good evening slash afternoon. This is a live stream covering today's significant tornado threat in Oklahoma. I will be back. I do have to do chores, so we will keep the radar up, just on. I will get back to the questions in about 10 to 15 minutes when I will get back online. I will run a radar loop in the meantime. So, yeah. Alright, I am back. I'm going to be sharing this stream on social media, so that way we can get people to tune in. So, currently, the main show is a severe thunderstorm warning southwest of Duncan, Oklahoma. The current observation station just by there has 81/72, which is very much favorable. We should be getting a few people in here from Twitter very soon. Alright, so we have a couple other low precipitation supercells that have fired to the north of this one near Lawton. These two can merge and become one big high precipitation supercell. There's a rotating wall cloud currently on this storm as well. Some weak rotation in the lower levels, but the main show is up here in the middle levels. The mid-level rotation is rather strong on the storm. It also has a rather concerning look off the Oklahoma City radar, which is about 8,000 feet up. So this thing is... it's starting to translate down, folks. Once this thing does, definitely going to see some strong tornado potential with it. Gonna be something to really watch. Hello, EE. How are you doing, man? Also, the storm to the north up near south of Lawton, that storm's looking prime too. These storms have to merge in order to probably do something well. So we'll see if they end up merging. This storm also has to turn right in order to acquire the highest tornado potential, because the photographs are more of those storms that are right moving. Purcell, Oklahoma after 0Z UTC. Is it really heading toward Purcell? I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be more of a Pauls Valley Wynnewood problem for Oklahoma. At least the Temple supercell. The supercell up here could definitely be a problem further south. More referring to these. There's also a few supercells further to the south in Texas. These are going to be a large hail threat, potentially even a tornado or two as they slide toward the DFW metro. But the temperatures over here are a little bit more mixed out. There's not, the dew point depressions are also a bit higher. We do have a bunch of storm chasers on these storms. Where's Jackson? You have Jackson Demon, or DFW Storm Chasers, as y'all know him on Twitter. He's on those storms as well in Texas. So now, why don't we slide over to our browser? And here we go. So I have a bunch of stuff up on my browser right now. I have mesoscale analysis up. So these storms in Oklahoma fired along what looks to be a confluence band in here. And they're going to generally move into a better environment. There's 3,500 mixed layer cape. They fired on a confluence band / dryline bulge, it looks like. 3,500 cape, which that Lawton supercell is about to get into. That thing's about to go crazy. There's a lot of instability with that storm. This one right here. If we look at the mesoscale analysis indicator, it is a matured storm. It has 3,640 joule cape and 76 0 to 1 kilometer SRH. So SRH values are pretty high. Are not pretty high. They're high enough to support tornadoes, and we can see here they're about 100. As the storm gets further to the north, it'll probably acquire higher tornado potential. Pretty good corridor there. If we go to the southern Dixie Alley region, we can get the photograph map. I don't know why it's not available for every single region yet, but there we go. So photographs generally become more favorable as we get toward the Oklahoma City region / I-44 or 35 corridor, I believe that is. Is that I-35? Yeah, I-35 corridor. That's what I'm referring to. This is I-44, that's I-35. Also, look at all this chaser, or I'm not on that screen right now, but there's a lot of chaser convergence. I'll show you all that in a little bit. Storm Prediction Center at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time issued, or Central Daylight Time issued a tornado watch for Oklahoma. Hazards being a few tornadoes, a couple of them strong. Probabilities 40-50 for tornadoes, or 50-40 for tornadoes, 40-20 for wind, and 70-50 for hail. Current SPC products, we have a day 1 enhanced risk, which is yielded by a 10 hatch tornado risk for Oklahoma and a 10% for the cold core, 15% wind, and a 30 hatch tail. There's also a tornado risk down in the Gulf states as well, Mississippi. DFW doesn't listen. What did DFW say? What did he not listen to? I'm actually pretty curious. But moving over to satellite, we have this one matured supercell that is currently in our 10 hatch tornado probabilities. There's also bubbling cumulus in the 10% from Greensburg all the way through here. I bet you Steven Madoran is going to be on this storm right here. Attaboy. He better be right there. Man's going to catch something nice if he is. Looking at our station plots right now, they're looking pretty favorable. And I'm gonna take the SPC graphics off because they kind of annoy me. Now that I don't need the thumbnail. And there's a lot of Theta E as well, kind of piling. There's a Theta E boundary piling here. Central Oklahoma. Pretty good Theta E gradient. Let me see why DFW isn't listening real quick. Why does he want to chase Texas? What? I mean, maybe northern Texas. Northern Texas probably. Let's look at the wrap here. Extreme northern Texas, 21Z. That's not bad. I can't knock him for chasing that. But later in the day, Texas seems to mix out more. I mean, this is fine, but you can go into Oklahoma and get profiles like this. That's a good bit better. Now, with taking model soundings is good, but a step better. Looking at observed soundings. 21Z, we had a sounding launched out of Oklahoma City, and it is sheesh. Lots of instability. There's no warm nose like some models predicted. Lots of instability. Steep lapse rate to loft 6 to 7 kilometers. 2,500 mixer cape indicated by a rather thick cape regime here. Lots of low-level instability as well, indicated by 87.3 cape. This low-level photograph profile here is only going to get better throughout the day. It's going to enlarge and probably look more like this with an LLJ toward 30 knots. Currently, that LLJ is yet to kick in, so we're kind of waiting for it to do so. Looking at the 3 Cape map, the 3 Cape map was pretty correct, and those storms in southern Oklahoma are over 175 3 Cape right now. And so those will probably eventually become a problem. Eventually we'll switch back to the browser, but currently the storm is warned for ping pong ball size tail and 60 wind gusts. No tornado yet. Not matured enough quite yet to drop one. Okay, DFW is a long ways out from a severe thunderstorm warning right now. What is my man doing? I don't know. We're also going to monitor Kansas and Nebraska. Oh, there is a tornado on the ground in Kansas. So why don't we go up there and look at that? Let me switch over to the radar screen again. And we'll switch over to Goodland, Kansas radar and let that load in. Oh, and here you go. There are multiple circulations in this conga line feature. There's not a CC drop right now, but there might have been one earlier. I don't know. Nope. So these storms are not lofting debris tornado-wise, but there's one circulation here, one here, one here. So that's 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 different circulations with these storms. 7, 8. So there's like 6 to 8 circulations. So they're going to pose a threat for tornadoes here with these. So that's quite interesting. And we can keep on those storms while we wait for that to kind of bubble up. And those storms are in a lot of vorticity in 3 Cape of 100 to 175. That is a nice area. Storm Prediction Center did just issue a mesoscale discussion. Let me switch over to it. Most favorable area for a supercell tornado during the next couple of hours. So that's going to be Lawton. That's going to be... I don't know my Oklahoma geography that well. Ardmore, Winnieville, Pauls Valley, Purcell, Wayne. So, or actually not Wynnewood yet. That's a little bit. That's a little later. But yeah, this is, I think Chickasay's in the MCD, if not right on the border. So that is interesting. Mentions potential for longer-lived mesoscale, or longer-lived mesocyclones and a corresponding increasing supercell tornado threat. Anybody new who has joined here, let's share the stream. Let's get it out to people so that they are warned for these severe storms today. Slash tornadoes. Looks like this thing might be on the ground, or probably is on the ground there. West of Weskin, or Kansas. This storm is moving northwest, so there are several circulations that may impact the Weskin area. Let's see if there are any. That might be a circulation. That might be a CC drop over Weskin, actually. Might have had a weak tornado. Yep, weak tornado on the ground over Weskin, Kansas. Indicated by a CC drop there. That is definitely a tornado. And ZDR values agree. So that is a tornado over Weskin, Kansas. Yep, Spectrum Width clearly agrees. It's under the bounded weak echo region, question mark, of that storm. It was not really a bounded weak echo region, but under a lower area of reflectivity values. Apparently there is a very brief and weak tornado in Oklahoma, or with the Temple storm. There's not even much rotation on radar with it, but we can go back to it. And why don't we do... Oh, that's Twitter. Why don't we do so? So that's your Temple storm. When did it produce a tornado? Oh, so that was 528. So that was a long time ago. So that was here when it produced a tornado. I don't know why that tweet was just posted in a group chat not too long ago, but I could see why it produced there. It's probably attempting to produce a tornado again. What's up, McCallum? I just want to say I admire your passion for meteorology, and it's really really interesting to watch. Thank you, Beans. Appreciate it. That just made my day, I guess. That was cool. But getting back on topic here, Doesn't really seem like much is happening in Oklahoma at the moment, tornado-wise. Several storms are firing up southwest of Chickasha. These might merge into one big supercell. I think the main show for now, though, is this thing right here. In the best environment for sure. Why don't we move over back to the good one radar? Looks like that thing was a very brief tornado. Looks like we had a tornado with this cell at that point. Not surprising. That line, this line of supercells has probably produced several tornadoes. And we have a new tornado warning just southwest of Russell Springs, Kansas. There are 2 different circulations here. Nothing on the ground yet, but worth watching. Nothing on the ground based off radar. There might be something on the ground. There is John Homanok. He is a famous storm chaser. Greg Robin. So there are people in the area, so that storm might get confirmed. And those Colorado tornadoes were pretty photogenic. So apparently there were 4 tornadoes on the ground simultaneously with this cell. Looks like Gage Gibson, 2 miles west. So he's talking about this here, or this one of the 2. Probably this circulation, so that was just on the ground. That's interesting. So this secondary target in the 10% tornado risk is popping off right now. Environment is a little bit more shear favorable up here, but the instability is not as high. Looks like wind shear is between 75 and 125 meters per squared second with 0 to 1 kilometer storm relative velocity, which is a measure of wind shear. But the instability is 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram of MLK, which is more than enough given that the stuff is under the upper level low pressure system. Doing a little demonstration here. That X is where your upper level low is. You have this flow that's pivoting up here. And then we have these northward to northwest moving supercells, which is pretty rare to get those, but they're moving along the low pressure. Looks like an isolated storm is forming in Kansas. This is right along the jet stream max, kind of. That one might do something as it pushes off to the north. Main show is these storms ahead of the what is that? Ahead of the 500 millibar jet streak. Strong thermodynamics ahead of them, so we'll see what happens. If anybody has questions that's in here, it doesn't seem like there's too many people, but yeah, there's the Kansas radar. Thank you. I went Sharon Springs, Kansas for TTC, but accidentally put the coordinates in New York somewhere. Rip McCallum, that's a rip. I went to Newcastle Casino in Oklahoma. I think that's where I went. Yeah, that's where I went. I might be screwed, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I didn't expect the south trend to happen, but the south trend, of course, happened. New tornado warning confirmed for Aparajo, Colorado. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, I mean, this area is just gonna spam tornadoes. Looks like there's probably a tornado northwest of Wallace, Kansas, right now, based off that velocity signature. Yeah, probably. Those storms are moving fast. They are moving northwest to north at 35. That's actually not that fast. What about these? Are they moving faster? 20? Okay. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, I am back. So, let's see how Kansas is looking. Still looks like probably some tornadoes are going in Kansas. Supercell went up near Nest City. Something tried going up near Greensburg. Okay. Looks like Cameron Nixon just had a heck of an intercept, so hats off to him. Why don't we go over to Frederick, Oklahoma? And looks like our supercell there near Empire City is starting to fall apart. Not really much rotation. Seems like the updrafts up by Chickasha are going to be doing much better here. Seems like everything else is doing better than that storm. What about that Echo Tops? Oh, yeah, those are... Oof. Yeah, they have gone down significantly, even though it's in a relatively favorable... What in the world? Okay, so I guess there was a tornado report with whatever this thing is. I don't see how that happened, but why don't we... look on to the Oklahoma City radar that is placed southeast of Midwest City. Seems like the 70s dew points reservoir is Oklahoma City southward. And let's give a good look at these updrafts. Looks like the updraft near Central High looks pretty good. This thing looks pretty trash. I think all the chasers are starting to realize that the updrafts further to the north look better. Probably because they're in higher middle level shear. I think the reason why the updrafts further to the north have not done as well is because they aren't in very high mid-level shear. That's probably why. So currently we have one viewer in here. Let's get that up more. Like the stream. Share it out to more people so that we can get a lot of people in here. Not too much is happening right now aside from Kansas and Colorado. But I do see a pretty concerning storm just north of Chickasha. It looks like this one might become the dominant storm. Let's look aloft. Yeah, that thing looks pretty good aloft. I do see the storms further to the south. They look pretty good aloft too. Nothing really jumps out to me actually as being too concerning, but they're all starting to develop hook echo features, specifically this Chickasha storm. and it's heading generally in the direction for Norman, Moore, Oklahoma City. So if you have family there, tell them that there is a risk for tornadoes right now into probably 9 to 10 p.m. or so, and just tell them to watch out. Tell them to make sure that they have plans ready. And looking at satellite, looks like the southern storm is really starting to weaken while the other storms are starting to really take off. There's a burst on satellite with that storm that is near Chickasha, Oklahoma. Also, why don't, as the severe risk is not the highest right now, why don't we go into tomorrow, as tomorrow could be a pretty high impact day as well. I'll go into it as a second. Well, you guys wait for me to go into it. You guys can look at satellite. Okay, so tomorrow, let's go into the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here. So tomorrow there is a slight risk of severe weather on Friday, May 12th. There's a 5% tornado probability chance for extreme southern South Dakota, western Iowa, northwestern Missouri, northeastern Kansas, and northeastern/eastern not Arkansas, Nebraska, Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, Overland Park, Kansas, Kansas City, Kansas. Trying to look for any other big cities. Norfolk, Nebraska, and I believe Topeka, Kansas are all included within the 5% region. There's also a risk for wind gusts across from Oklahoma down to the Mexico border. And then there's a risk for very large hail anywhere in Oklahoma City, Norman, Fort Still in Oklahoma, Wichita Falls, Abilene, Del Rio, Fort Stockton, Midland in Texas, and then in Iowa, not really any big cities aside from Atlantic, and then Nebraska, you have Omaha and Norfolk, Nebraska included within the significant risk. So that's something to watch out for. Day 3, there is 2 marginal risks. There's one for Iowa, and there's one for Texas. The one for Iowa probably will get expanded into Illinois over the next few days, and I haven't really looked at the Texas risk. Both risks could have tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, and large hail. Looking at the Oklahoma VWP going back on, it looks like it is increasing. And yeah, the storms to the north have big time overshooting tops, so those are the storms you want to be on. That Chickasha storm is the most concerning to me personally. And I gotta eat now. Alright guys, sorry for that inconvenience. Let's go over to the Oklahoma City radar. Okay, here we are. Doesn't look like there's too much happening. 30-mile-per-hour wind of strong storms here. Some rotation has been observed with like every single one of these storms. They're all merging into some sort of cluster. Alright, I am back again, looking over at the Goodland, Kansas radar. We probably have 2 tornadoes ongoing in Kansas currently. Let's take a look at those while we wait for our other storms to start to get going in Oklahoma. So, our 2 tornadoes that could be ongoing are one's north of Shannon Springs, and then one is northeast of Wallace, Kansas. And they both have tight circulations on radar. Okay, let's see if there's anything in chat real quickly that I can answer. We don't really have anybody in here right now, which kind of sucks. But I've been in and out of the stream, so it makes sense. Oh man, there is a potentially a strong tornado ongoing west of Winona, Kansas. So it looks like the northern / middle storms are really starting to take off on satellite here. I'm not sure if I'm on satellite or not right now. Either way, why don't we get a sharing link out to the stream and share it back here. Bang. And this is probably a strong tornado ongoing here. As I already said earlier, west of Winona, Kansas. Oh man, big TDS. There might even be a debris ball. 44 dBz debris ball. This is showing about 1,400 feet up. Alright, welcome to the couple new people who are in here. Currently, we are tracking a big-time tornadic supercell in Kansas, which is near Winona. It is tornado warned, should be tornado confirmed, but is currently not tornado confirmed. We also have multiple different supercells in Oklahoma. Nothing's really going insane yet with these storms in Oklahoma, but there are several different storms to kind of watch in Oklahoma there. Um, Looks like there's also a severe storm in north central Oklahoma with a rotating mesocyclone. That's got a favorable environment to it as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Big time TDS though. Debris ball 52 now, DBZ. And probably have a tornado on the ground here as well with this circulation, and then also up here. There's just a line of supercells right now in Kansas along the low pressure system. String. I'm gonna go look on my phone as well. So looking at the storms, oh, we're probably about to get a tornado They're either southwest of Bowie or southwest of Jacksboro, so we gotta get a new radar up for those. Those storms are going pretty insane as we speak. It hurts to not be out there. Days like these, gotta stay off Twitter for real. Ben. Yeah, I mean, I personally really I've never gone out and chasing the planes, so I just like tracking it, to be honest, because I really can't make it out there, especially being in high school, still being in school, can't really make it out there until later on in life, and eventually I will make it out to the plains, but it's probably going to be a bit for me, and I know that. So I just watch stuff at home, watch what some of my friends do on Twitter and stuff, and yeah, see what they bring in, and hope for the best for all of them that are out chasing. And I know you live a lot closer to the plains, being in southwest Missouri, so you have bigger access. You have access to the plains and access to the Midwest, Ben. Must be nice. You could chase Illinois if you wanted to, or you could go and chase Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, why don't we go check out the Oklahoma City radar right now? As we can see here, we have a line of supercells that is setting up southwest of Oklahoma City. We also have a complete discrete supercell that is formed northwest of Edmond, Oklahoma, in a relatively favorable environment with back surface winds and 75 over 66 temperature / dew point. It has a mesocyclone in the lower levels, about 3,000 feet off the surface. Here is about 7,000 feet, and as we get further aloft, it's not super organized yet because this is a very new supercell. But it's definitely a storm. Interesting to see how this thing will play out. Looks like this is a supercell here, kind of dying off. Big boys down here in Texas. Looks like there's a pretty solid rotation just west of Rush Springs. See if any of these storms look impressive aloft. Okay, it looks like the storm over Chickasha does, along with the storm north of Chickasha and the one west of Amber, but the one with the best rotation on the surface is this one west of Rush Springs. So that's interesting. Perfect spot to live. Although, never chased Illinois. We gotta get up there. Updraft's too skinny, not gonna happen without mergers. Agreed. Dude, you gotta come chase Illinois sometime, Ben. And yeah, I do agree that the updrafts are pretty skinny, and they're gonna need mergers. Yeah. Seemed apparent with that storm that had potentially a brief tornado near Lawton earlier today, southwest of Moscow. Or was it near Duncan? I don't remember, but somewhere near Temple. And seems like these storms are really not cutting it right now. Let's see which one has the highest echo tops. That's the one that's going to produce a tornado. So it could be this one over Nikon. Chickasha, definitely. I think the Chickasha storm definitely looks the best right now. The one right over Chickasha. Based off radar, it's had the best upper levels mesocyclone on it, so I would tend to believe that it looks the best. There's also a supercell coming right toward my TTC target, so that's cool. I'm going to get the TTC place file. Yep, so for TTC today, I am located just north of town, right here, north of Newcastle. That's where I am. A bunch of people are located all throughout Oklahoma today for TTC. Even somebody went to northern Texas. Joey Christel. Looks like somebody has went to southwest Kansas. Lots of people went to Kansas. Oh man, this guy's gonna get. Jeff Frame went to Sharon Springs. He's gonna get the bag for real. That's a W move by him. Looks like there's one person that has targeted North Central Oklahoma, which is in the target zone of that. Looks like this thing by Amber might be starting to get organized. We'll see. Looks like we have been live now for over an hour, so... And there is now a tornado warning for Jacksboro, Texas. Looks like we got Mr. DFW. He's trying to get on that storm. Good for him. Why don't I... Crap, I just opened Sharpie. That's going to lag the crap out of my computer. Come on. There we go. Dallas-Fort Worth radar. Bang. So we have a tornado warning for Jacksboro, Texas, and Jack County, Texas. This is for a radar-indicated tornado that's moving northeast. Northeast. There, it's moving probably at a rather slow clip. I will check the warning speed in a second. Okay, so this is moving northeast at 20, so not really moving. Yeah, so also that storm near Amber, Oklahoma, is starting to take off. Really starting to get its act together. Oh, yeah, its echo tops have went up. Oh, man. Whoa, that thing is feeding into that instability. Looks like our storms that are in Kansas/Colorado aren't really producing any strong tornadoes right now. If they're producing tornadoes, they are more weak. But we probably have more dire matters in Oklahoma. So, Bridge Creek storm has towered up to 50,000 feet. And it's about to produce. It's coupling up. Also looks like that storm near Amber is starting to produce too. Why don't we get on that airport radar and see what these storms are made of? Yeah, both of these are producing. Doesn't look like there's anybody on stream right now, so that's great. No tornado warning yet, but I would assume we're about to get a tornado warning for Bridge Creek. That thing looks pretty nasty. Maybe one for Amber too, as well. So here we go. Looks like this thing is coupling near Bridge Creek. Also seeing this thing near Amber start to couple as well. These are coming toward Moore / Norman and into Valley Brook, Oklahoma City, Midwest City, Mustang. So, and there's now a severe thunderstorm warning for places like Oklahoma City. Apparently there is a funnel cloud on one of the Texas, on Jacksboro. There's a funnel cloud on the Jacksboro storm. And there's also a funnel cloud on the supercell near Rush Springs. Okay, why don't we switch over to Kansas? Likely about to see another tornado here in Kansas. just southeast of Goodland. Looks like there's a tornado south of Edison, Kansas right now. So probably this storm. Okay, so here's a look at what it looks like off the Oklahoma City airport radar, but I think we're going to switch and look at it from KTLX. Okay, so here's what it looks like off Oklahoma City. So it looks like this thing is dying a bit. Looks like that southern storm starting to take over. Alright, I'm thinking about ending the stream since not very many people are coming in here. We currently have no viewers right now. Seems like everybody's on the bigger streamers, so peace out.